watching Numbskull News, and today I'm going to ask the question, is the rise of BYU, Cincinnati, and Houston, is it a bad thing for the Big 12? Is it a problem? That's because look, I've seen some people on YouTube, other content creators talk about this. People people need to get out of this elitist mindset that college football has been in forever, where it's always about the top brands. And you've heard this take many times of, oh, the Big 12 needs, someone to become a big, huge brand. Someone needs to become the next Texas, Texas Tech, Kansas, Utah. Somebody needs to become the next Oklahoma. Someone needs to become the next Nebraska at the very least. No. You don't need 1, 2, 3 giant brands to float the whole conference. That's what it's always been in college football. That's what it still is in the ACC. That's what it still is in the SEC and the Big Ten. However, in the Big 12, there aren't these massive brands here. Everyone's pretty much on that same tier 2 level. What you need is the conference as a whole to rise up, not just a handful of teams. I'm sorry. I'm so sick to death of the elitist horseshit. I hated that shit about college football. That's why I was always more of an NFL fan. But now, with Texas and OU, the hell out of here. The last big, huge schools to leave the Big 12. I'm sorry. The perfect ads were BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF. And why did we add them? I mean, we got made fun of, and I made a video about this weeks ago, early in the season. Maybe I was a little early on that, because now you're starting to see, hey, all of a sudden Houston, Cincinnati, well, BYU, top of the conference. Well, I was talking about that shit weeks ago. All right, I love how everyone lives in my wake, in my draft here, because sometimes I jump the gun on shit, but I saw how this year was playing out. And that, yes, those 3 teams are going to be massive. And they're having huge years. And it was worth asking the question at that time. But now I've seen the negative part of the question. Is it bad that they're on top of the conference and it's not, who we expect to be up there? It's not Baylor. It's not TCU. It's not Kansas or Kansas State or Iowa State. It's not one of the original 8. The original Power 5. But, oh, wait. They're not all original Power 5, are they? TCU, when did they join the Big 12? Like 2010, 2011? Utah, they didn't get into the Power 5 around the same time. So they're still relatively, if you're asking Iowa State, if you're asking Oklahoma State, they're relatively new to the power ranks, aren't they? Yes, they are. But we don't look at them like that anymore. They have risen up. Their brands have risen up from that state. They are no longer seen as other than, lesser than G5s. They're not. They're Power 4 schools. They're national brands. Believe it or not, TCU is a national brand. They've made that statement. Utah's a national brand. They have made the statement. Everyone knows them. Why do you think ESPN is going there with their broadcast, with game day? Why do you think they're going to Salt Lake City? For the first time in 3 years, they're going to a Big 12 site. All right, because Utah is a big brand. Now they're elitist ass. They're not going. You would think the better game to go to is to go to Lubbock in a couple weeks with Tech and BYU. But no, they're not doing that. Right? It's that elitist take. Oh, well, Utah just came from the Pac-12. We know them kind of deal. That's what it is. They're not going there for Cincinnati. But however, Cincinnati's on the other side, having a great year. But why did the Big 12, why did Bob Bowlesby expand? And thank you, Bob Bowlesby. Thank you so much. Why did we expand with those 4? There were a lot of people we had, mapped out. A lot of contenders for a spot in the Big 12. Well, we did it for their potential. What kind of potential? To win and to rise up, for their brand to elevate to the market. Because whatever potential rise you have, the bigger the market you're in, the easier it is for you to rise. You have a more captive audience there that can watch your games and help you rise and support the program. That's why. I mean, why am I a TCU fan? Because I live in Fort Worth. They're the team. They're the local team. And I'm proud to be from Fort Worth. I love my town. Therefore, I love my school. I love my football team. That is the Horned Frogs. All right, so now I truly understand. Hey, Texas is the biggest brand in DFW. OU is right there. All right, totally get that. LSU's got a nice fan base around here. So does Alabama. But TCU is the hometown team. SMU is the hometown team of Dallas. So let's go through it. Cincinnati has had success in football and basketball. They made the four-team CFP, famously. And they're in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, if you ever look at a presidential politics, when it's time to vote for the president, and you see the map, everyone pulls down, regardless of what news channel you're watching, or what YouTube channel you're watching that covers those kind of elections. You know the big states, right? It's New York, it's California, it's Texas, it's Florida. The next level down is states like New Jersey, Georgia, Illinois, Ohio. All right, so they're not the top populated states and most influential states. They're on the next level down. So Cincinnati, Ohio, that's important. That's a big market. All right, let's look at UCF. Why are they here? Potential. They had 2 undefeated seasons in the American. Big time seasons. They're in Orlando, Florida. One of the big dogs, one of the big freaking huge states. It's a big freaking huge market with a huge airport. That matters. And Houston, they're one of the all-time spoiler-like teams, pulling upsets with Kevin Sumlin. Dana Holgerson got plenty of those too. And now with Willie Fritz, they're even taking it to another level. And they're in the city of Houston, one of the biggest markets in the country. One of the fastest growing markets in the country, in the fastest growing state in the country, in Texas. And sure, other schools had a shot. Boise State, I love Boise State. I love that Smurf field, that Smurf blue field. It's cool. It's been cool. The Broncos have been just cool to me. I think that's the main thing. I think they're a cool-ass team. And they do a lot of winning. They have an excellent, outstanding football program, athletic program. The city of Boise, Idaho, fast-growing city, but way smaller than Cincinnati. And completely dwarfed by Houston. Way smaller than Orlando. You're like, well, hold on, Provo. But Provo, Salt Lake City, that whole area is way bigger. Way bigger than Boise. Boise's got a lot of time just to catch up to Provo and Salt Lake City. They'll never catch Houston. Cincinnati, Orlando, highly doubt it. They'll ever catch those two. And no, markets aren't the most important thing. But like I said before, what it does, when you're looking to grow, the bigger the fan base, that's where the market helps. Now, another reason this is a good thing, that Houston is starting to climb to the ranks of everybody else, of the Iowa States, of the TCUs and Baylors of the world. They're starting to get right there with them. Now it's only one season. They still have some work to do, but this is a great thing to see. Not to mention the championship caliber basketball program they have. And since they've been in the Big 12, they've been the best basketball program. Not Kansas. not Arizona, not Baylor, not Iowa State. It's been Houston. But as they grow up and equal with all these other, the original 8 teams, let's just say, or the Four Corners that came in, as they start getting to that level, as Cincinnati is getting there. BYU's already there, y'all. BYU's already equal to anybody else in this conference. There's no bigger brand than BYU in the Big 12. Nobody. Not Utah. Not Colorado. Nobody. And why is that important? Because there's been talk about realignment. There's been talk about a hypothetical Super League, a Big 10 Super League, a whatever Super League, where the Big 12 can lose teams. Or just straight up lose teams to the Big 10 or the SEC. No Super League. You're talking KU. You're talking Lubbock, Texas Tech. You're talking Utah. You're talking Colorado or Arizona State. Where those 4 ads are kind of like buffers. The bigger they get to equal all those others, to equal everybody else in the Big 12. Well, if you want to leave, that's fine. We got Houston. Texas Tech, if you want to leave, we got Houston. A much bigger market, way better basketball school. And their football is starting to get... I know you beat Houston. You beat Houston soundly this year in football. But they're on the rise. And here's the thing about Texas Tech. I know they draw viewership from DFW. They absolutely do. But in Lubbock, as a big town now, it ain't Houston. It ain't Houston. And they draw from all surrounding areas in Houston. So if Houston rises up and they become every bit the brand of a Texas Tech, their ceiling is way higher. That's all I'm saying. Cincinnati's freaking ceiling is way higher. BYU's is already... I'm telling you right now, BYU's already a bigger brand than Texas Tech. If not, right with them. It's neck and neck. UCF, when they launch, and they're on the trajectory right now. They have a pathway. You can see it. This team is better than I thought it would be. It's probably not going to make a bowl game. It has a chance to. Look out Baylor this week. Look out Baylor. Can UCF go in there and beat you? Yeah. Yes, they can. Scott Frost, you can see the pathway Scott Frost has them on. And it's going to be, it looks like it's back to being a winning program again. So look the hell out. But yeah, they have a higher ceiling than Texas Tech, than Kansas State, than Iowa State. These brands they have the potential to grow into monsters. So is it a bad thing for the Big 12? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is great for the Big 12, great for the business, great for the growth of the conference overall. These were fantastic, well-placed ads. But let's keep one thing in mind, with, especially right now, with BYU, Cincinnati, and Houston. I'm sorry I'm not really putting in UCF right now. UCF, you still got, you haven't lifted off yet in the Big 12. You're on your way. I see the path, but you're not there yet. So right now, let's just look at what BYU, Cincy, and Houston, 3 of the top schools in the Big 12 right now. Look at the money they're making right now. They're not at a full share in the Big 12. You're talking over $10 million less a year they are getting than all these other schools, including the Four Corners in the Big 12. And this is the results they're getting. Next summer, I believe it's 2026, is when they're going to get their full shares. What are they going to do when they get their full shares? I mean, there's no losing here. This is not bad for the Big 12 on any level. This is exciting as shit for the Big 12 on every level. For now and in the future. That you have other brands. Look, you can't see BYU as some other brand anymore. Oh, former G5. Not anymore. Not anymore. These guys are for real. They have quickly came up the ranks these 3 years. They are on everybody else's level. Houston's on its way there. And because of their basketball, I would say they're the closest right behind BYU. But give them another year or two of football success combined with continued success in basketball, and they're going to be right there with all their peers in the Big 12. Cincinnati, a couple of years behind, but don't tell them right now they're the number 2 team in the Big 12. But a couple more seasons of having great competitive years. Folks, this shit doesn't take a very long time to get to this level and stay there. What being in the Big 12 has done for these schools, it's been like gasoline to a flame. And it's awesome. It's awesome it's happening in the Big 12, guys. It's happening here. And that elevates the entirety of the Big 12. Think of our next media deal. What if BYU is still doing what they're doing? What if Cincinnati has elevated to be every bit as big as Utah or BYU? What if Houston is every bit of those, every bit of Kansas? Think about that shit. What if UCF has elevated by then? We're talking 5 years. That can absolutely happen. Where they are right there. And now the perception is, oh, G5 schools. No, they got the same perception as TCU and Utah. No one thinks about them. Remember, no one thinks about those two programs as being former G5s anymore. And it didn't take 14 years to get there. They accomplished that in the Pac-12 and the Big 12, respectively, rather quickly. People just forgot that they were part of the G5 because they were kicking some ass. So, these schools are starting to kick ass. And it's great for the overall conference. It'll be great for the next media negotiations. There'll be big reasons why we get paid way more than we used to. Yeah. Because when you added them, yeah, they were just dirty G5s. But now, it's 4 more brands of equal to the value of the very best of the Big 12. Where's the loss here? It's all a win. It's all a win. Get out of your elitist mindsets, all you YouTube people, any national journalists, all you dumbasses out there. Wipe your ass with that elitist crap and throw it away, flush it away. Down into the cesspool where it belongs. If you're a Big 12 fan, we got to be reveling in this shit. This is awesome. This is what we want. As I said, I'm a TCU fan. And yeah, it's going to make the Big 12 even harder. Because you used to count on, oh, we're playing Cincinnati. We'll probably win that game. Oh, we're playing Houston. We should win that game. We're playing UCF. We should win that game. BYU, not a problem. We'll win that game. Can't say that shit no more. Right now, as it stands, they're all dangerous teams. UCF can absolutely beat damn near anybody. If you screw around, they can take advantage of it. They are far better coached than they were. Their defense is a little better than you think they are. The offense can score. They haven't put it all together yet, but they can have a game. That's why I'm saying look out Baylor. So they can absolutely take you out. But anyway, I'm damn excited. I'm damn excited to see the rise of these guys. It makes the Big 12 even more intriguing and ultimately more viewership, ultimately more paper for those schools. Better for the Big 12, better for the bottom line, better for business, better for the fans. Every week it's an intriguing matchup. That's what you want. Every year. Who's going to be the top dog? Who's going to be at the bottom? It's hard to know. Because you can go from the outhouse to the penthouse. From the penthouse to the shithouse real quick in this conference. And it's those storylines are going to get even more crazy as we go along. The funnest conference, the funnest football conference in the land. Easily. And part of that story is going to be the rise of these four. And then the drama they're adding into it. It's superb. It's fantastic. I love it. You should love it. Everybody should love it. And if you don't, kiss my candy ass. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap. And I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.